Good morning, class. Welcome to the online classes for physics. In the previous classes, we are going through the chapter that is the mechanical properties of solid, in which the last previous videos we have seen that what were the properties of the solid, in which we have seen what were the elastic materials, what were the plastic materials, and the behavior of that materials like elasticity and the plasticity. So what we have seen that when we apply a force on it, and that external force was given here as a deforming force, and when it is trying to regain back its original shape, then the opposite force acting to it is a restoring force. So this restoring force also depends on the displacement, how much you are displacing an object or you are stretching that object. The restoring force will act also directly proportional to that of the deformation of that object. So these are the two types of the forces which can be applied on the object. The one is the deforming and the other one is the restoring force. And we have seen the curve between the stress and the strain also, right? So what was the stress? That is the force applied on any body, particularly per unit area. That was said as the stress. So force upon area was given by the stress, and we have seen the unit for it is Newton per meter square. And similarly, the types of stress was tensile stress, compressional stress, and the tangential stress. So tensile stress, it is the restoring force that is per unit cross section area, then the length of the body will increase. That will be in the direction of the deforming force. Similarly, when we compress, and the restoring force set up per unit area will be that when its length decreases, that on applying a deforming force. If the body is subjected to a uniform force, then the corresponding stress applied on that body will be given as a hydrostatic stress. After that, we have seen shearing stress, that is the tangential force acting on the surface of a body. It produces change in the shape of the body. This change in the shape per unit area was given as a tangential stress. If we talk about the strain, the change in the dimension upon to that of the original dimension was given as the strain. There are three types of strain, that is longitudinal strain, volumetric strain. So when this tangential stress it is applied, that is tangential to the surface, then the change in the parallel planes you can say, or the displacement, then it was given as a shear strain. So we have seen that shearing stress it was, that is that when deforming force tangentially applied to the surface of body, then the change in the shape of the body was given as a tangential stress. And similarly, that shear strain or the tangential strain will also come. So this is stress which is applying on the body tangential to the surface of the body. Similarly, what was the strain? That is a change in the dimension and the original dimension. First one, it was a longitudinal strain, that is change in length upon original length. Similarly, volumetric strain, that is change in the volume upon original volume. Similarly, shear strain, that is the change in the angle when some force is applied perpendicular to the surface of the body. And when this phase gets turned on applying the tangential deforming force, there is a change in the displacement in between the parallel planes. That was named as a shear strain, which was given by theta. And after that, we have seen that the body regained back its original shape. So that body, till that the stress applied on it, till a limit, it will act as an elastic materials. So we have seen a graph also that the stress is directly proportional to strain. That means when we increases the stress, there is a change in the strain also, and they are change in the directly condition. So they were directly proportional. With the increasing stress, we got increasing strain. So there is a straight line graph. After that, we have seen that at a point we have given the name, that is the elastic limit, when these body on applying the deforming force is now can regain back its original shape and the size after removal of the deforming force. As it gets acquiring to the elastic limit, what will happen, that till that it can regain. If against this elastic limit the stress will be applied, then what it will acquire a permanent set of deformation. So it means that it is already overstrained, so it will permanently get deformed, and now it will be showing the behavior of the perfect plastic body. So what that means, that is, it is now cannot regain back to its original size and the shape. In against this, that against this elastic limit, if the body is stretched again, then it comes to a point where the point is said to be the fracture point, where that point means that if you stretch more than that, or the stress is applied more than this overstrained or the elastic limit, then the body will get break, and that point where it get breaks is said to be the fracture point. Okay, so now we will be going to see that what was the Hooke's law and the modulus of elasticity. We have already seen in the last class only, but now we will be seeing the numericals related to the formula. So what was the Hooke's law? That is, the Hooke's law was stated that the extension or the deforming force when produced on a wire, then how much it is extending is directly proportional to the load applied. Now if you take an example in the last class, you may have seen in the last video that if the spring is there and if load is just attached to the spring in the downward direction, due to its weight or the mass acting on it will come in the downward direction. That means it will get stretched, that is the length is increased. So now the stress is applied on that body, so the extension produced will be directly proportional to that of the load applied. How much the load will take, the number of or the value of the extension will increase. Similarly, as elastic limits the stress within the elastic limit, you can say, because against it then it can break or it cannot be behave as an elastic body. So till this elastic limit, what you can say, that the body can have a stress which is directly proportional to the strain, that is a change in the dimension to that of the original dimension. So stress upon strain will become a constant, and this constant was named as a Young because he told that the stress and the strain were directly proportional. So this constant was named as a modulus of elasticity, which was only a coefficient of elasticity. So this was named as both, that is the coefficient of elasticity, due to the scientist which told him was given as a modulus of elasticity, which is always given as Y, that is Young's modulus. After that, if we talk about the volumetric strain, if we take a ratio of the stress and the volumetric strain, then it will be bulk modulus, which was given with the letter K. Similarly, if we talk about the shear stress, that is the shear strain change in the theta, so that will be the ratio of that stress upon the shearing strain will be given as the modulus of rigidity, which was eta. It is represented by the letter that is eta. So now what we are going to see are the formulas for the Young's modulus, bulk modulus and the shear modulus, that the modulus of rigidity. So here you can see the topic, that is elastomers. So what are these elastomers? That is the materials which can be elastically stretched. We know that the body which can be stretched and regain back its original size, we say that it has a elastic materials. But we know that stress and the strain, that is, if the stress is increased, the strain is also increased with that. So they were directly proportional. So which can be elastically stretched to a large value of strain. That means there is a largest value for the change in the length in the dimensions of that body. So we can say that materials as the perfectly elastic, and these materials are said to be the elastomers. Example, rubber can be stretched to several times its original length, but still it can regain back its original size and the shape even after the deforming force is removed. Similarly, there is no well-defined plastic reason, because the rubber just breaks out. There is no plastic reason for them, because if the plastic reason is there, then we have learned here that beyond the elastic limit, if some force is applied on it, there comes a plastic reason where it cannot regain back to its original size and the shape. Similarly, if you are talking about this elastomers, then the fracture point will only come. There is no plastic reason. So now we will be seeing some formulas that we have already learnt, that shear stress or the stress was given as a force per unit area, that is the cross-sectional area, and strain, if you talk about, that is the longitudinal strain. When we are talking about then the increase or the decrease in the length, that is the ratio of the original length, then it is given as del L upon L. If we take the ratio of this longitudinal strain and the stress, then that modulus of elasticity was given as Young's modulus. So Young's modulus is just the ratio of the stress and the longitudinal strain, that is force upon area, L upon del L, that is change in the length, del L is. So on taking this formula, we can use the Young's modulus. So here see the numerical, that is the length of the suspended wire increases by 10 to the power minus 4 of its original length. So whatever the original length is, so it is increasing by 10 to the power 4 of its original length. So how we can show this? That is, if you are having original length as L, Now the change in the length is 10 to the power minus 4 times that of the original length. So del L upon L will be given as 10 to the power minus 4. Similarly, what else is given? That is the stress is 10 to the power 7 Newton meter per Newton per meter square. So calculate the Young's modulus it is given. We already know that the stress per unit longitudinal strain was given as a Young's modulus. Here we already got that del L upon L was given as 10 to the power minus 4 and stress is given 10 to the power 7. So 10 to the power 7 and minus 4 will together become 10 to the power 11 Newton per meter square. Okay. So see the next question, that is a uniform wire of steel of length 2.5 meter and density 8 centimeter cube weighs 50 grams. That is M is given, mass is given and length is also given and weight is also given. That is the mass, length and the density, 3 of it given. And we know that this mass, length and density can be given as mass is equals to volume into, or the density is equals to mass upon volume. So from there, if we talk about the length, that is change in length is given by 2 mm, that is 0.2 centimeter. And if we talk about the force acting on it, it is given as 10 kg. That 10 kg can be changed into the force by multiplying it to the acceleration due to gravity, that is g. So what it means, we know that density is equals to mass upon volume. So mass will be given as volume into density. What is volume? That is length into breadth into height, and d is the density. Similarly mass, but we are having the mass also, we are having the density also. Here the length is also given, so we can take the length also. So the remaining part is just breadth into height, and this breadth into height or any two-dimensional word is given as area. So area can be defined as mass upon length into density, which is given as rho. So density can be given as rho. So now we can put the values over here. That is area equals to mass upon length into the density. So what this density will be? This area is equals to mass, and what was the mass? That is 50 grams upon length into density. What was the length? That is 2 mm, sorry 2.5 meters long it was, so 250 centimeter long it was, and into density which was given as 8 gram per centimeter cube, so this will be 8. So 1 upon 40 which was given as 0.025 centimeters square. Now we have to find out the Young's modulus, right? So Young's modulus will be given y is equals to force upon area upon del L upon L. So we already know that this del L will go up, so F into L upon A into del L. So F into L will be given as 10 force applied on it, 10 kg, that means 10 into 9.8 into L, that is the change in the length. Now it is means original length only L is there, no del is there, so it will be 250. And similarly we are having area was given, now only we have taken it out, 0.025, and length, that is change in the length, was given by 0.2 because 2 mm, that is 2 centimeter. So this is what the value that we have now. So from there you can just simplify these terms. So you will get the answer as 4.9 into 10 to the power 11. But here if it is given as Newton, but it was F, so we are changing in Newton meter it used to be, no? But here centimeter is there, so we have to take dyne, and we know that 1 Newton is equals to 10 to the power 5 dyne. So 10 to the power 5 also will be multiplied to this equation. Now see the second. That is, a structured steel rod has a radius of 10 mm and the length 1 mm. So this is the area and the length is given. So 100 kilonewton, that means you are talking about a Newton condition. So you don't have to multiply by 10 to the power 5. Here it was given as 10 to the power kg. F is given. So what that is means that the force is now in the CGS condition, but here it is Newton. So diameter, what it was given, that length of 1 meter, 100 kilonewtons. stretches it along its length. Now we have to calculate the stress elongation. Elongation means that change in the length, that is del L. Strain, and given that the Young's modulus is already given here. We know that stress is equals to force upon area, and area of that bar will be given as the rod will be given, cross section is given as a pi r square. So pi r square, we can take r's value as, that is 10 mm is given, so 0.01 meter. Because Newton we have to take, now we have to take all the values in the meter itself. So we will get the value stress as 3.18 into 10 to the power 8 Newton per meter square. Now we have to talk about the Young's modulus, and Young's modulus is equals to force upon area upon strain, that is del L upon L. So from there, if we put the value of y, force and area, and the value of L, then we can just get the change in the dimension, that is del L. So del L was given as 1.59 mm. Strain, that is del L upon L. Del L upon L is given as 1.59 because it's already given, that it is 1.59 into 10 to the power minus 3, because in the second part we have taken out the value for the del L. And strain, it will be del L upon L. So del L we are having, and the L, it is the original length that is already given, that is length, and a length of 1 meter, 100 kilonewton force is applied. So we will be taking it as a 1. So from there we find out the value of the strain. What is given? If we talk about the percentage, we already know that del L upon L into 100. So if you multiply it to 100, then we can get the percentage also. Okay. So the last question, that is the, what is the percentage increase of the wire of diameter 2.5 mm stretched by a force of 10 kg weight? Young's modulus of elasticity of the wire is 12.5 into 10 to the power 11 times centimeter square. So given it is that the wire has a diameter, sorry, it is given as the radius, no? It is given as diameter, that's 2.5 mm, but we have to take it out the radius, that is 1.25 mm. But if we talk about centimeter, then it will be, because already the Young's modulus of elasticity is given is in the dan per centimeter square. So we will be taking the value of the length also in the centimeter itself. So on dividing it by the 10, so it will be 0.125 centimeter. Now the force, that is given as the kg per weight, it is given, so it is taken into 9.8, then it will become a Newton. So 480 Newton's force is there. Young's modulus of elasticity is already given. So modulus of elasticity's formula was that stress upon strain, that is force per unit area upon the change in the length upon length. So it is given as del L upon L is equals to force will be divided by Young's modulus, and A will be multiplied to it. So from there we can find out the value of the A also, that is pi r square. R is already given 0.125. So on putting these values of Young's modulus, R, and the area, we can just find out the value for the del L upon L, and if it is multiplied by 100, we can get the percentage of the increase in the length. You can see here in the question at how it's solved. So the answer is 15.965 into 10 to the power minus 2. So if we just divide it by the 100 or multiply it by the 100, we get the value, that is 0.16%. That is 2 digits it will move forward now. So the answer will be 0.15965. So 0.1596 will be considered as 0.16%. Similarly in the last question also, it was 0.159 into 10 to the power minus 3. So 3 digits will move. So it will be just similar to that of the 0.16. So this is what the formulas and the questions related to the Young's modulus, that is the modulus of elasticity. Similarly, we will be seeing at the bulk modulus and the shear modulus also. So thank you class. In the next class, we will be just continuing this chapter and the questions.